Hello, friends. Happy Sunday. It is time for my weekly update. Every week, I like to come and talk about what I've been reading, what I'm going to read, what's going on the channel, and all that kind of fun stuff. So, this has been a very busy week. I want to welcome all the new subscribers. If you are new here, thank you for giving the channel a subscription and some support. It means a lot to me and it keeps me going. So, thank you if you're new here. And if you are, then let me just give a quick introduction. I mainly read grimdark, fantasy, horror, a little bit of everything, but lately it's been horror and grimdark. But I do have plans to read many different genres. I'm open to reading anything, so I'm not stuck to one genre or another. I like to bounce around, and if something sounds interesting, I'll give it a try. So I'm sure you've noticed that I also like to talk to people. I like to have discussions. I like to learn. I like to hear people's stories. I like to interact with them and all of you, whether you're on BookTube or not. If you just like to just enjoy watching videos, I like to interact. I like to hear about what you're up to, what you're reading. So down below, let me know what you have planned for this week. If you have anything that you're going to be reading, you're excited about, let me know. I like to have the back and forth. So let's get into what I read last week. So last week, I did finish Dark Hilarity by Joseph Sale. This is a tough book to describe quickly. It is a mixture of fantasy, adventure, horror. There's a little bit of everything in the world building in this book where it was really, really impressive. So I did enjoy Dark Hilarity. I think it was really great. I mentioned last week that the book, while I was reading it, you're just turning pages. And Joseph Sale he also edits books and he does writing classes and he's very involved in that and in that scene. And you can tell because the book reads really smoothly. And I don't know how he does it. And that's another thing about me is I'm not an academic. I'm just a normal guy who likes to read books. So I'm not the guy. If you're looking for someone to break down prose and dissect and I try to do that kind of stuff, but that's not really my thing. So that's my perspective is just a guy who likes to read and have good discussions. So after I finished Dark Hilarity, I did get into Wizard and Glass. It's the fourth book in the Dark Tower series. So I keep hearing this is the book that you're either all in or all out on the series, and I am all in on the series because we're doing a group read. We have just a wonderful group of people we're reading this with, and we meet up about once a month to discuss each book. And so we set out to do this, and I kind of organized it so I can't. I'm invested. I'm not going to leave now. I can't get into too much about this book because if I got into it, that would be spoiling it for people. But if you want to see a spoiler-filled discussion, we had a really great discussion Saturday night on Miles of Booktuber's channel, so I will link that. Go check that out if you want to hear a bunch of people who really enjoyed it and me who didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy this book. It just wasn't for me. That's the old Booktuber line. It's just not for me. But um, yeah, I can't really get into too many specifics without ruining it, but it was the thing with Stephen King is that I think he goes off in these tangents and he likes to, it's almost like he's showing off. Like, look how great of a writer I am. I can go off on these side tangents for hundreds of pages and you'll still enjoy it. And it's great and everything, but when I'm investing hours and hours and hours into a book, I, it's like, okay, like I can appreciate these tangents sometimes and I'm starting to kind of get I know why people really enjoy that. I get why people enjoy it, and he's a wonderful writer, but 900 pages and wow, yeah. So I wasn't a big fan of this one, and to be frank, if I wasn't in this group read, I would probably DNF the Dark Tower. I know some people are shocked, but there's so many books I want to read that if I'm investing, enough time to read a 900-page book and I'm not crazy about it, then it's just tough to continue when there's just so many things I want to read. But I am, like I said, I'm invested. I'm going. I'm not going to stop now. So I'm remaining optimistic to continue. I hope it works out, and I'm fairly confident I'll enjoy it when it's over. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope by the end, when we're done, or even the next book, I'll say, oh, well, that's why he spent so much time explaining X, Y, and Z because it matters later. So it's a series. I'm trying to be patient, but sometimes it's tough when you invest so many hours into a book and it's like, this could have been like 600 pages shorter and told the same story. but I am glad everyone else enjoyed it. If you enjoy that book, hey, I'm glad you enjoy it. It just wasn't something that I really enjoyed. On a 1 to 10 scale, I'd probably give it a 5. It's not my favorite, but I do appreciate the Gunslinger more now after reading Wizard and Glass. I do see that book differently every book we read in the series. And when we first read Gunslinger, everyone who's read it before told me, just be patient. It's not going to make sense at first. Just go with it. So that's what I've been doing, and it seems like that's pretty true. The Gunslinger makes sense, and when you think about when he wrote Gunslinger and the way he's tying things up and it's kind of coming back around to Gunslinger, it's pretty cool. So, I didn't hate it. It's not something I really enjoy too much, but we will continue with the next book for next month. I think the meetup is on the 16th of January, but all these dates are on our calendar, on our forum if you're curious, or if you want to come and chat with us. So what I'm reading this week, I needed a day or so because I kind of had to rush through, not rush, but I had to push myself to finish on time for the Dark Tower for Wizard and Glass because we had kept pushing it back. So this week I am reading The 13 Black Cats of Edith Penn by Sean McDonough. I'm sorry, Sean. I probably butchered your last name. I get all the easy names wrong. So this is a book that was sent to me, and I am having an author conversation with Sean on Monday. So it won't be live, but it'll be recorded, and I'll have that out later this week. So he did send this book to me to read, so I will be digging into that starting today. Also, this week I will be reading The Flashlighters. It's the 4th book in the Nightmareland Chronicles. We will have a discussion about this next Saturday with Daniel Barnett and a group of really great people. More about that in a second. And I am still chipping away at Hearts Strange and Dreadful by Tim McGregor. I really enjoy this book. I've been committed to so many other group reads that I've been kind of chipping away at it, but I am really, really enjoying it. I'm getting 40 pages in here, 40 pages in there, but I'm really, really great story, really haunting, really, it's very atmospheric. So it goes without saying because it's been a crazy week. I think that's an understatement for me personally, just for the channel, because last week, of course, we did have the Mike's book reviews discussion, and the way that all worked out was really, really surreal because, watching someone's channel for so long, because I've been watching his channel for over a year, watching his updates, and it's you see someone on YouTube, and then all of a sudden you're there interacting with them, and it's weird. And I tried to not be that guy who's, I tried to not be weird, but so it took a couple of minutes for me to kind of get comfortable, just because I was nervous to talk to Mike. But he's the same, when I talked to him, he was the same person he is on all his videos. It's really, really great. I had a really great time. Sometimes it takes a minute to loosen up with people, just you kind of get into a rhythm, and we could have gone for a lot longer, but I know that we could have gone for hours and hours, but I hope to talk to Mike again someday. I know he's busy, so I appreciate him taking the time, but really, really great. And I had written pages and pages and pages of questions. I sat down to write questions and thought, well, he's talked about this on his channel, I can't ask him that. And he's talked about this on his channel, I can't ask him that. But I just kind of thought, if I'm just going to ask him, if we were just sitting together, what would I ask him? And just kind of, there's so many videos that he's done that I had trouble thinking of topics that he hasn't already talked about. So that was kind of tough, but it worked out really well, and I didn't even get to half my questions because we just went off on all these side tangents, and that's usually the way it works out. So for those of you who watched that video, it's my first 1,000 view video. So it it's really amazing when these bigger channels just mention you. It helps just a ton, and it introduces me to so many new people and so many new viewers, and so it's really really great. So thanks again if you're new here. So then on Friday we had two Friday conversations, and this is the last time I will have two conversations on the same day, two live streams on the same day like that, and I'll get to that here in a little bit. But we did have Leslie from the Nerdy Narrative, and then Joseph Sale. We did have a Dark Hilarity discussion. We got into minor spoilers, so if you're curious about Dark Hilarity, go and watch that video. And Joseph is, he's so much fun to talk to, and I can just talk and talk and talk with him, and he's just full of all this information and all these. I learn something every time I talk to him, and it's just so much fun talking to Joseph Sale and to Leslie. Leslie's just awesome. She's the first big YouTuber who really just, I had like 50 subs or something at the time, and she's like, yeah, I'll read the First Law trilogy with you. Sure, we'll have meetups and we'll have it on your channel. I'm like, wow. So Leslie is one of the nicest people I've met. I've met a lot of nice people, but Leslie is up there with just, she's just awesome. She's just cool and supportive, and you would think these bigger channels would be kind of snooty or snotty, but I haven't had really too many bad experiences, so it's just really great. So after that conversation, I did have a conversation with Adam Smee, or AJ Smee. I think it's AJ on the book. His book is Scar Boys, and we did have a conversation that night about Scar Boys, about writing, about punk write books, and about self-publishing. We talked a little bit about self-publishing and kind of what that means to him, the freedom that comes with it, things you can do that you can't do with a major publisher, and just doing your own thing and just having creating something that you want to create and not having it be changed. So I think that's a lot of fun. I do love, that's why I love indie books, because it's what the creator intended. And sometimes these creators create something and then it gets watered down and changed, and by the time it gets to us, it's not their vision anymore. It's been changed. So I do appreciate the fact that it is what they wanted us to read or to watch or to listen to. And whether it's good or bad or whether we enjoy it or not, at least it's what they wanted. At least they have that satisfaction of saying, this is what I created, this is what I put out, and it is what it is. So that was a really great thing. And for AJ Smee, we are planning to do something in the future. And with Joseph Sale, we are talking about doing a regular type of meetup. I'm just not sure how that worked out because of the time differences. He's in the UK. But we're trying to work something out to make it a regular thing. Then on Saturday night, I had an author conversation that was live with Nicole Eisner. She's the author of Beguiled by Night. It is a little strange that the night we had a conversation about Beguiled by Night, and we talked about Anne Rice and lots of vampires. We talked about vampires, how they've changed over the years, horror, and lots of vampire talk. We talked a lot about vampires and how versatile they are, how they changed over the years throughout history. We talked about her book, about getting it published, about taking those first steps to getting it written. And it was a little strange that was the night Anne Rice passed away. So I was a big Anne Rice fan. I still am, and I hope to. We actually have plans to read, or I have plans to read that series here in a few months, hopefully. So that's a big loss and a bummer, because she introduced me to vampires in a way that I didn't really see them before reading her books and before watching Interview with the Vampire. It was a whole different view of vampires I didn't have before Anne Rice. So it's really sad, and so she'll be missed. So next week on the channel, it is the end of the year is coming up, so that means all of the lists are coming. I was going to do 3 different videos with lists, what I plan to read next year, and then my top 10 of 2021. But I'm going to do one video with all the new series and standalones I'm going to read in 2022, and then my top 10 of 2021. So keep your eyes peeled for those. I don't want to have too many top of the year, what I plan to do next year videos in a row. Seems kind of like a cheat. I do try and have a video out every Wednesday. That's my constant video. So that's the day that you'll see those videos pop up in the morning. So that's going to be a lot of fun. For this week, I do have a Let's Discuss a Raven Shadow Trilogy video. Just talk about the trilogy, talk about Bloodsong, Tower Lord, and I forget the name of the last book suddenly. But so I talk about that trilogy and kind of what to expect. I think I would have liked to have known a little bit more going in. I don't give too many spoilers. I talk a little bit about Bloodsong, but after that, I keep it pretty spoiler free. But I do explain how the POVs and things change throughout the series, and I think some people find it jarring. So I talk about that a little bit and just kind of what to expect if you're going into that trilogy. So keep your eyes peeled for that. I did have an author conversation planned for this morning with David Green. Unfortunately, some things came up for him, and he had to cancel. Going to reschedule that at some time in the future. That's a bummer, but those things happen. I do have an author conversation, like I mentioned, with Sean McDonough. We're going to be talking about his book, and that should be out later this week as well. Also this week, I'm going to be on Angel's channel. Her channel is Voices from the Mausoleum. She is host. She's having me on. It's the first time I've been asked to be on another channel, which is kind of weird because I'm used to being the host. So as a one-on-one type of discussion. So it's my top 5 horror movies. We'll be discussing my top 5 horror movies. I'm not sure when that's going to be live on her channel, or when it's going to be released on her channel, but I'll keep you all updated if you're interested in that. And we're trying to get Angel to 100 subs before the new year, so go check out her channel if you're into horror. She's really, really supportive of everyone in the community. Just a cool person to be around, and so go check out that channel. I'll leave it down below. And next Friday is the last Friday conversation of the year. It is with T.S. Beer. I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. She's the author of Escaping First Contact, and she also has a booktube channel that she has some really, really great reviews on. She reviews older science fiction books, like from the 50s sometimes. Really wide range of books, and I love hearing her perspective because she comes from a writer's perspective, and hearing that perspective is really interesting to me on storytelling and structure and characters. So if you're not familiar with that channel, I'll leave it down below. Go check that out. It's going to be a busy week. So next Saturday, actually Friday night, we are having the 24-hour readathon for the Three Scrooges. That's over on Stacy's channel. Stacy's All Booked. So check that out. It's a live stream. We do a midnight reading sprint. This month is for the Three Scrooges by Jeff Lane. It's our Christmas read. It's a pretty short book, so we have 24 hours to finish it, which I probably won't finish. But it's fun just to get together and have some fun chats about the book. Also on Saturday, we are having our Flashlighters discussion with Daniel Barnett and a group of wonderful, just great people. A bunch of us are meeting up. And on our forums that I'll link down below, we did have a Secret Santa little setup where we exchanged names, and we bought each other gifts and sent them off on Amazon. Some of us are overseas. That was really cool. So we're having a meetup to open those gifts next Saturday, and that'll be on Yolene's channel. She helped organize it. Actually, she did all the organizing, so she'll be hosting that meetup. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, that's my week. Next week, a pretty busy week. Next week is the last week that it's just kind of wall to wall things. I'll talk more about that in a minute, but things are going to settle down quite a bit. The giveaway is still going. I'm giving away $50 from Amazon for any books that you want. You can spend it any way you want on books. Just tell me the books that you want to order, up to $50, and I will send them to you. We do have some. I do have the names written down so far, but check last week's update video for more information. You just have to leave a comment with a skull or a sword, and I will enter you in the giveaway. I'll be drawing a name next week for my weekly update. Okay, so something that So I was in talking to Michael, I was trying to pick his brain about YouTube and kind of how he sees his channel, and I always try and get ideas and suggestions from people, especially someone like Mike he knows what he's doing. So, after that discussion, after that conversation, I've been thinking a lot about the channel, what I've been doing, and so I'm going to try. I like to try new things. I like to try things like short story Saturdays that I'll be starting in January. And I think, so I'm thinking of some changes. I think I'm going to be doing things a little differently. I'm not going to be having as many conversations. I'll still have them, but not as often. I won't be doing them multiple times a week. I need to spread that a little bit better. And I think I just get really excited to talk to these people, and I just enjoy it. But I think sometimes it's a little too much. So I'm going to be adjusting that schedule here in 2022. And things do calm down quite a bit and towards the end of the year. So 2022 there'll be some changes coming. Nothing major, just here and there. I'll be making some changes. Namely, I'll be doing one of the main things is I'm going to be doing less group reads. I think I really enjoy group reads, but they take a lot of time, and I have a bad habit of committing to too many at a time. So I'm going to be doing a couple of series in the new year, and if we decide to do a buddy read on something, or if one of you wants to read something with me, then I will. But I'm going to try to limit those commitments just so I can read other books that I've been wanting to read that I keep putting off. So there'll be less of that, but I do have some series that I'm really excited for. I'll be able to read more kind of like I don't say I'm not a mood reader, but just say I feel like reading this and not worrying about it getting in the way of other commitments. So that will be coming, and as always, I'm open to suggestions if anyone has any ideas. I did also think about doing the Friday conversation every other Friday, and then maybe the Fridays I don't have one will be like a reading sprint or something. But I'm not sure. I'm still tossing that around. I think I'm going to be putting more thought into how I do the Friday conversations, and trying to make them enjoyable for all of you. So if you like it the way it is, let me know. If you have some ideas on change it, for things I can change. Toss your ideas in my way. I'm always open to suggestions. So I'm trying to kind of get an idea of what to do and how to change things. So I like to keep things fresh and try new things. That'll be coming, and also the books that I plan to read will be coming in my video either next week or the following week for books that I'll be going to read in 2022. I'll have more details on which books those will be. Some of you may already know what I'm talking about, but I do have some really awesome guests planned to come and chat about these popular fantasy series to come and talk about it. So I'm really excited. It's going to be great. So last week I did talk about Bell Witch. I like to share new music whenever I find new music, and I used to do that more often, and I've kind of gotten away from that. But I do like to share new music that I found, and unfortunately this week I don't have anything to pass along. It's been a really, really busy week, so I haven't had a chance to find anything new. But have you found anything that you're listening to that you really enjoy? Let me know down below if you have found something. Also, we've been rewatching Curb Your Enthusiasm on HBO, and I think I used to be on the fence of whether it was better than Seinfeld, but I think now I am in the it's better than Seinfeld camp. So for those who don't know, it's Larry David, who was the producer on Seinfeld for the first 4 or 5 seasons. He left after that, but he has a series. It's kind of like an adult Seinfeld that's on HBO. It's been going since 2001, 2002. It's been going a while, and it's been kind of off and on because they take breaks. But I think they're in the 11th season now. But I think I'm solid in the camp that it's better than Seinfeld. I think it's overall better, and I think Seinfeld. And I do this too, but I think we view Seinfeld and we remember all those nostalgic moments we had with it. And I think if you look past that, I think for me, Curb Your Enthusiasm is better. So let me know what you think about that if you watched both. All right. So I did want to share something that I think was worth passing along. Now I've had a bad habit of reading these books, and I read a book and then I'll start the next one and then I forget things that I read 2 books ago. So I want to be better about that. So what I did was I picked up some notebooks to journal in. And to say I journal would be a stretch. I just write down notes. and things that I enjoy with it, with the book. So what I did was, when I first started doing these author conversations, I wanted to get a book that I write all the questions in, so I can set it up. There's a camera with a tripod right in front of me, and I set the book up right in front of me so I can read off the questions. So I went looking for books like these. This is a hardbound book, and this is Moleskine. They call this the professional notebook, and it has a bunch of stuff I don't really need in it, like maps and calendars and stuff and conversions that, I mean, this is just for me to jot notes in. But so I've been using this, and it's, don't get me wrong, it's nice. It's it's, nothing's wrong with it, but I have noticed that the pages, sometimes it bleeds through, and I do write all of my questions here for all the conversations. So and then it has this little bookmark thing. So I do write all the questions I have here for all the authors that I talk to, and here's the questions I had written down for Mike. It's a mess, but anyway. So, and I did notice that these pages bleed through. Now this notebook was, I think, like $30, but I wanted something hardbound that's tough, that will last, and something that was big. I wanted something a little bit bigger. This is a little bit bigger in size, so it's been working out okay. But I think, like I said, I think this is like $30 for a notebook. So when I was looking for a smaller notebook to jot my notes down for books I've been reading, I was looking at Amazon, and I found this other notebook, and this is so I've started writing notes down, books I'm reading. This is another. It's like it feels almost like faux leather. It's like it's not hardcover, but it's pretty tough. And these come in a 2-pack, and yeah, 2-pack. So these come in a 2-pack, and I got a green one and a black one. There was 2 of them, and I think both was like $20, so that's almost half the price of one of these bigger ones. And I think there's more pages in this one. And also, and I didn't notice this until after, but on the back of the book, there's a little pouch that comes with little tabs. I don't know if you guys can see that. Little tabs that you can put on the pages. So if you are looking for something to kind of jot notes down as you read, or something for work, or just for your personal use, I'm really satisfied with this one. And it does have a little strap to put on the front as well. But this one I've been really impressed with. I'll leave the links down below if you want to check it out. It's not an affiliate link. It's just me talking about my experience with the notebooks I've been kind of messing with. So yeah, I'm not getting paid for it. It's just me passing it along because I think it's worth passing along. So this is my kind of book reading, mostly journal. It's more like just like a notebook, like a, jot my thoughts down. It's helping me keep things straight. So talk to me about what you're, and also with this book, the ink does not bleed through. So I've been really impressed with the pages, the thickness of the pages. It doesn't bleed through, and the paper and the overall is a better quality than the Moleskine that I bought for a lot more. So if you're looking for something, then there you go. So let me know what you have planned for this week. What are you reading? What are you watching? What are you listening to? What are you up to? What special events in your life going on? Let me know how your week was and what your plans are for next week. I always like to interact with all of you. That's what makes all this a lot of fun. So don't forget, my podcast is available. I know some people can't take hours to watch these conversations or these discussions, so they are available on my audio podcast. It is on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Amazon, a lot more that I can't think of right now. But if you click the Buzzsprout link below, you can download the file directly, or you can go to your platform that you prefer. So you can click on there and then go to wherever tickles your fancy, wherever you like your podcasts. So if you'd like to connect with me, I did mention we have a forum. We talk about books, sports, just random stuff. It's been a forum that's been going on for a long time. It's been open for 20 years now, I think. And it's a small but friendly community. So if you'd like to pop on there, we do plan all of our meetups. We post like when there's free books, stuff like that. We'll post, whatever. So we do have the event forum that we plan all of our events. All of my events are there. So if you're curious about what I have coming up or what I have planned, it's all there on the event calendar if you'd like to check that out. I do also use Vero. It's my personal platform of choice. I know not a lot of people use Vero, but Vero is really great. I love Vero. No algorithm, there's no ads, and I just really enjoy it. It's a lot more relaxing than the other platforms. It's a lot more relaxing than the one I'm about to talk about. So the other platform that I use is Twitter. I'm at Steve Talks Books, and I keep that as book focused as possible. So I mostly just post books there. Twitter can be a dangerous place. There's a lot of just angry people there that are just angry, and I try and steer clear of it. So once again, thanks for watching. Thank you all for all the new people who have come by. I'm happy to meet you. I'm happy to interact with you. I'm glad you're here. I know that what I do is a little different than a lot of other channels. So thank you for coming by. Thanks for spending time watching. I really, really appreciate it. It means a lot to me, and it's what makes this whole thing fun. I like to interact with all of you. I like to chat. I like to exchange ideas and just have good discussions. So don't be shy. If you want to reach out, I'm always available. If you have a book, or if I mention a book that I'm reading and you want to read it with me, let me know. We'll figure something out. If you're not on YouTube, I don't care. We can read it together anyway. So let me know. Once again, I hope you all have a great day. Hope you all have a great week, and I will talk to you soon.